I'm just going to walk along this side here. They all seem to be along this bank where it drops off, and show me if you guys think this is weird. Bones here. Leg bones here. Jaw here with teeth. Leg bone and other little fragments, maybe a vertebrae there. Vertebrae here. More of a vertebrae there. And here. This one's a bit spread out. Here's a piece of a leg. You can see the hinge, the ball and cup joint there. Just like on a truck. The hinge joint round with the ball and cup. Jawbone here with teeth. Got ants all over it. Oh, there's a full ant's nest under that one. Check it out. Holy, they're red ants. They were not happy. Another jawbone there. Keep walking along. Pile here. Leg bones. Maybe hip bones. Those hip paddle bones I was showing you guys. Here's some sort of a huge piece of an upper jaw, I guess. Like, is that from an elephant? Vertebrae here. Pretty much intact. It always kind of tripped me out when I find bones, how the vertebrae work. So this is how all the bones work. Like, they're all like joints, just like you'd see on a vehicle. Anyways, obviously something went down here. More here. Hip bone. Leg bone. It always seems to be the same bones that were left too. A lot of legs, hips, and skulls. Anyways, I think that's enough. I'm going to hike down into this area, show you guys a few more, and then I'll hike around, show you there's a big old tree over there that somebody's been sawing lumber out of. Oh, here's another leg bone. Yeah, there's a big old tree over there. Somebody's taken a chainsaw mill and like cut out a huge like table slab. So I'll show you guys that. And maybe we'll have a video out of all this stuff. Anyways, these work really good as paddles, canoe paddles, what I was just saying. Camera died, but these are good as canoe paddles. More leg bones here. Pieces of vertebrae. Just over here, there's yet another piece of a leg bone. I don't know why there's so many leg bones. Like, could be that whatever is eating this stuff doesn't take those bones for whatever reason. Here's bear poop. That's black bear poop, guys. You can always tell it's black and sort of just a blot like that, like it was runny. The bear wasn't having the best digestion. Or they just eat a lot of berries and twigs and stuff like this. So I've been seeing a lot of that around here too. But it's all old and dry. So I know the bears are around, but I don't know that they're here right now. Tooth. No cavities. Everywhere I've been walking out here too, I've been really watching the ground because it's like harsh rattlesnake country, so there's all kinds of little holes. So there's rattlers around too. This big spruce tree there. Another skull here. This one's huge. And of course there's plastic on the ground. I've been cleaning up lots of plastic out here. Like this one's pretty big. Looks to me like it could be a cow. There's another set of jaw bones here. That one's still intact. Still hinged. All the teeth I'm finding are in great shape. There was one set where there was a pile of them, and you could see where an animal had died. It looked like a horse, because it was just big, like, and there was a spot on the ground in the dirt in the shape of a horse. And so I'm trying to find that again. Bear with me. Perfectly good tractor seat. More leg. This one's smaller jaw. Old. Probably a bigger jaw here. More over here. Hip bone. This might have been the same ones I was at earlier. There's another leg. Hip bone. Those really do make good canoe paddles. Huge trees everywhere in this country too. It's like never been logged. It's been left alone. Another big old ponderosa pine here. Here we got a power line on the ground. So I didn't want to get too close to it. I'm sure it's live. Thought about calling them, so I don't know what utility this is, but you can see it. It isn't supposed to be like that. More bones. There's a vertebrae there. There's a few more skulls and stuff down here. Let's see if I can find this plant growing everywhere out here. It's got like a bean on it. And you'll see it everywhere because it's poisonous to cows, eh? It's one thing I learned. And deer and stuff. So they can't eat it. Plastic. So I learned that there's like no wild beans or peas or whatever. They're all poisonous. So bush truck tip for the day. Another huge pondo pine here. You can see the forest fire ripped through here at one point, a long time ago. This tree's all burnt. But the ponderosa pine, it's got a special bark because the forest fires are a natural process around here. They help rejuvenate things. So all the fire suppression that goes on today is actually a bad thing. You can see the pine, when it burns, it has this bark that flakes off. And so that it just burns on the outside. It's sort of the way it's set up. The fire comes and doesn't kill the tree. Just clears out all the ground and gets rid of all the little weak trees. Another one here. Pelvis type bone. Something's been eating out here, boys. Just trying to find my way back to this little trail. Huge spruce here. Biggest one I've seen in the valley. These spruce are good for sleeping under, guys. Because look, you go under them, and like something's already been sleeping here. See the nice spots there. But you go under them and they just have this like perfect canopy you can stand up in, and they shed the rain really well. So that's a nice big old spruce. They're a good climbing tree too. Leg bone. Just by the big old spruce. So I guess you guys are probably starting to get the picture. Here's another bone here, old. Mostly buried in dirt. I think this is a pelvis. Small though. I found another one of these yesterday. I'm not sure. I don't know the anatomy of deer or anything too well. But try and leave them the way I found them. Somewhat. Sure, you guys are starting to get the idea here that there's bones scattered everywhere around here. I'm going to take you down now and show you what I think is a cougar den. Pretty sure. And that'll be enough walking for me today. Never mind, found more bones. Another one of these pelvic type bones. Base of this tree and a jaw here with some fresh deer turds on it. Little trail in here is really obscure. There it is over there. Bear turd. Small one. I like seeing the small ones more than the big ones. Hello, Mr. Bear. Just passing through. Just going down to the cougar den. That means hello to you too, Mr. Cougar. Just passing through, no need to be alarmed. Bear turd. Big one. Old and dry. Yeah, guys, like, I'm a ways in here. I'm way up off the main road on this logging road, and then I'm off that, and then I've parked and hiked. And so whenever I'm walking through these areas, I like to try and make a lot of noise, just because there's bear poop everywhere and there's all these bones, so there's obviously cougars around. And my mom, like, recently decided to call me. She's always worried about me because that's what mothers do. So anyway, she called me and started telling me about a cougar attack recently and a bear attack, and like she's always reading the news. And so I don't want to hear that stuff. I'm always out here in the bush by myself. So I just like to make a lot of noise when I come into an area that's really bushed in, just so I don't startle anything. I don't worry about the bears. The black bears that would be down here, they're not really going to hurt you. But if you startle one, like a mom and cubs, then that can be an issue. And I've seen several mothers with cubs around the valley. So anyways, we got something cool here that I noticed. Somebody came in here with a chainsaw mill and cut a nice big slab out of this recently. Like the sawdust is fresh. Nice cut, hey. Because it came off this big old dead stander here. Somebody had chopped this down a long time ago. It's been cut twice. So it was probably dead standing. And then you can see here the first cut, because it's old, gray. The sun's beat it up. Then recently, like within the last year or so, somebody came in and cut another one. A big, thick slab. It's hard to get this, a piece of wood this wide today. Especially this would be a Douglas fir. And so Douglas fir is super sought after for structural wood, for beams, and for tables. It's got a really nice grain to it, really nice color. And a lot of people want it. It's expensive. And there's not a lot of big ones left. So this is probably geez, it'd be 24 inches wide anyways. So you get yourself a table slab, 24 inches wide, one board. And there's still more can be cut out of it. So I thought that was kind of neat. Actually, just down a little bit further down the trail here. See if I can put this all in one clip. There's a massive dead Douglas fir, and it just recently died. But it's got to be one of the biggest I've seen. Now, there are a lot of big trees in BC, and there's some huge trees down on the coast that just dwarf these. Coyote turds here. Last night I could hear the coyotes going off. You can always tell the coyote turds because they look like dog turds and they always have lots of rabbit hair in them. Anyways, last night I could hear the coyotes just like going crazy off in the field and stuff, and it made me feel like I'm in a Western movie out in that desert field. That field's like all around BC. There's these rain shadows, where the mountains will suck up all the rain. This guy's huge. That's a big tree. Don't get a lot of rain here. It's like a desert, so for it to get this big, I'm saying 250, 300 years. You can always tell that it died recently too, because it's still got all its little branches. The little branches break off first, then the bigger and the bigger, and then the tree falls down. So I know it's probably hard to see on camera how big that thing actually is, but grandpa tree. I don't know why there's nobody grazing any cattle in that field. Another big Douglas fir here, right on the edge of this beautiful field. Just an idyllic setting. Super old fence. Fence that was put up back when they wouldn't use fence poles, they just used sticks. It's still standing. Anyways, this field, like, wow. Paradise for a cow. This is Oregon grape. The roots have berberine. It's like an anti-diabetic medication. I did a lot of reading about a lot of these plants. Anyways, another thing I like to do, guys, when I'm hiking down into these cougar and bear prone areas is carry a big stick. I know it seems stupid, but you can see how thick this is. I'm going down there with all those skeletons and stuff. I don't have a gun or anything up here on me, so I saw a guy once on a video, he actually killed a lion or something that was running at him in Africa with a spear. It was an old video from like the 50s. And so it can be done. A bear, if it comes up on you, it's going to maybe rear up, or a cougar comes storming at you and you at least have a stick. Something's better than nothing, is my theory. Lots of times I'll carry a big rock too, because that's sort of our weapon as people, is we can throw things. These other animals, they can't throw things. So lots of times if something's coming at you, you throw a big enough rock at it and hit it, it's going to turn the other way, or at least think twice. So anyways, so on this trek down to find this little cougar den here. It's a multi-K walk. I guess a lot of you guys are Americans, but multi-mile walk. I'm doing for a second time here. So we're getting lots of exercise. We're not getting fat out here or anything. Like, no offense to fat people, I like food too. But we got to stay in shape so we can walk through these mountains like we're gonna have to do for the rest of our lives if we want to see all this stuff, man. I got down in here yesterday and there's this like really old road here, so it kind of made me wish I had the bush truck here with me, because like, what am I doing walking? This is drivable, but not for very far. Everything's fallen down over it. It must just be an old mining road, or probably like a put in by hand for horse and buggy. The creek's just down here. You guys might be able to hear it. They probably put this road in so they could haul their wagons down there and get water. But obviously the cows have been using it too, and they are grazing in that field. I hiked down to the creek yesterday. Nice little spot down there. But I'm not going to do that today, because this is the end destination here. We're at what I think is a cougar den. So you can see here, huge vertebrae here. There's the den hole. It's been dug out under this tree, and it's just full of bones. I'm gonna have to get in there probably for you guys to see, but like, what kind of bone is that? Holy! That thing is massive. Look at the side rib cage over in there. It looks to me like something's been dragging a kill down in here and eating it. What is this? Maybe there's a biologist on hand that watches the Bush Truck channel that can tell me what that is. I guess like a pelvis off a cow or something. But you can see down in there too. There's just piles of bones. So you can see where it's been dug out. Ugh. See all that sand that's been piled up over there? So something's got in here, a cat has got in here. You can see dug out a big hole, and it's been coming in and out right there and heading down to the creek. It's filled this with bones. Probably animals that it's drugged down off the mountain here. And it, it stays close to water. So anyways, guys, I don't know, you tell me if you think that's a cougar den or not. More bones here. It seems to me like it is. And there's all this, better zoom this out. There's all the bones up there. There's all the bear turds, and then there's obviously cougars around. This isn't from a bear, this is from a cougar. I'm almost certain. So like something was, it could be that back in the day, there was like cougars killing farmers' cows, lots over in there. And these cougars often stay close to the creek. I don't know, that's my only theory, but needless to say, when I was walking down in here yesterday, I walked all the way down this to the creek, and I was kind of sketched out. I was making a lot of noise, that's for sure. Because I saw this, and all the bones and everything, and then I know not much, like nothing comes down here. Like I'm probably the only guy that's walked in here in 10 years. And so, the trail's all overgrown and stuff. So I just tried to make a lot of noise as I was coming through the bushy areas. Because also when you have these trails and it's all bush like this, a lot of animals will use the same trail to get to the water. So I was sitting down there drinking a beer, and I was worried that, something was going to come up on me too. And I don't get very scared when I'm out here. So when my spidey senses start to tingle like that, I pay really close attention. So there might be a cougar in the area. Now, during the day, knock on wood, I think you're pretty safe because they like to hunt at night or dusk kind of thing. And then they just sleep during the day, especially when it's hot like this. And like I was saying, the bears, you don't really have to worry too much about the bears. I've seen a ton of bears, unless you startle one or especially walk up close to a mom and cubs. That can be a big issue because that mom she's going to be fierce. But anyways, that's it for this area, guys. I'm not going to show you the creek down there. Maybe I've got some shots of the other creek. My generator came in, so I'm going to hike back out of here and go back to the truck, and I think I'm going to go back to town today. I might drive up to this lake since I'm so close right now as it is and go check that out, but I won't have service up there. So see if I get a little bit of footage of that, and hopefully now that I can upload by mobile, I'm going to line up a bunch of data when I do go to town, and I'll be trying to upload more often. Should be able to get one out every couple days, or at least more than one every 5 days. But thanks for watching, guys. I know this was a bit of a different one, and like they have been different lately, and I want to get back to the truck stuff, trust me, and we're going to get there. But at least, like, it's something to watch, and it's something that I can upload and do easily, just kind of while I'm out here in the bush. So, if you did watch the whole thing, thank you very much. And if for anybody leaves a comment or like or anything like that, it really helps the algorithm. So, yeah, even if it's just like one letter, like R or K or whatever, I don't care if you say anything great or give me props or whatever. It's just to help the YouTube algorithm show the videos a bit more. And so, yep. Hope you're having a great day. Ciao. I just noticed something too, guys, before I leave. This vertebrae, like, look at this, it's still brown. It still has the connective tissue. See here in the light. It's still got like chunks of meat on it, dried meat or cartilage, but you can still see all the cartilage is still in between all the vertebrae here. So I don't know how long that stuff takes to rot away, but I'm gonna say within a couple of years that stuff's gone. So I think this is relatively fresh. We'll just leave that be. Not much for tracks around. There are some tracks in here, but they're so denatured from all the sand falling in on them. Anyways, over and out. Cow paradise. Out for a cruise here. I feel like this is like my home, like I own this land or something. I haven't seen anyone in 3 days.